I just found the #1 hack for audiophiles in 2025. It's a software called PEQdB. It uses AI to accurately find your ideal preference and sound target. At first, I thought this was just some AI gimmick because every company is slapping AI on their products to get some sales, but I was pleasantly surprised at how well this actually worked. It's very simple actually. You listen to a few tracks, you rate the tracks, the AI then EQs the track, sends it back to me, slightly altering the sound by boosting or lowering certain regions, and then you rate it again. We keep doing this until the trial finishes. It takes around 10 minutes, 12 trials in total, and then the AI at the end arrives at my ideal sound preference. Now the wild thing is, PEQdB was able to reach 90 to 95% accuracy compared to my personal target, which I manually EQ'd. It took me hours and also took years of built up listening experience on top. So with that context, the AI only took 10 minutes with 12 trials, which is pretty insane when it comes to the amount of time that you're actually saving. Like if I had this tool when I started out, I would probably not be here reviewing. I would just be out. I would be done with the hobby. It would have saved me so much time and money without having to buy multiple IEMs or spend like weeks, months researching and just spend years just building up the listening experience. For even higher accuracy, you can also upload your own song and then you can test it based off of your own library, which is even more accurate now. So this is especially helpful if you're just starting out to the hobby. You don't quite know what type of sound you're looking for yet. You're just looking for an IEM that matches your library very well. This is where like PEQdB would come in. It's going to help you speed run and skip over the headaches and directly give you your ideal sound preference pretty accurately, I would say. Because even if you are a seasoned audiophile or even a reviewer like me, it still pretty accurately found my target, which I took a lot of time to work on, right? Obviously, you do still need an IEM or headphone to use the software. And yes, this also works for headphones, which is an additional plus. But as for IEMs, I would recommend the Nova and the EM6L, which won't break your bank, but they're also pretty smooth when it comes to EQing. No huge peaks, no huge dips, just pretty easy on the EQ. Now, there was a little drama and pushback because PEQdB is using the graphs from public databases on Squig, like mine, for example. But the thing is, Squig is open source. So it's a bit silly to kind of claim it as like stealing data when it's available publicly and open source. That would be the equivalent of Google complaining that other phones are using Android. I just don't think we should be gatekeeping or silencing this. It's a pretty helpful tool to the community. It works pretty well even though it is still in the beta stages. So I'm gonna link it below for you guys to try. Drop a comment on your experience if it works, if it doesn't, what you like and dislike about it. Now as for the second hack that saved me at least $1,000, I kid you not, it's actually a famous saying, out of sight, out of mind. This hack is actually pretty simple and pretty obvious if you think about it. Like the less you think about something, the less likely you're going to buy it, the less likely you want it. It's the opposite of like exposure marketing. You're not getting bombarded day to day, with these ads telling you to go buy. And this is completely free and it only takes a couple of seconds. All you need to do is just click off the website. Click the X button, get off HeadFi, close AliExpress, close Amazon, delete them from your bookmarks, and just don't look at them, because right now they're just kind of staying rent free in your head. You kind of want to go on your phone or on your website to kind of just like look at the deals. So get them out of sight, they'll be out of mind. Now I understand sometimes you do want to try different sounds and that's completely fine, but you really shouldn't be just browsing HeadFi or Reddit every day and just like letting those sites subconsciously influence and dictate your actions. You should not be passively doom scrolling on like HeadFi is what I'm saying. And building upon that, the next hack I recommend is buying used or joining like a tour group, getting a loaner set, or just demoing the IEM first before you just spend retail price and buy it. Like just think about it. You're not gonna marry someone without spending enough time to kind of see if you guys are a good fit or not. Similarly, why spend full retail price on an IEM that might not be a good fit? Buying used also saved me at least $500 last year and anywhere from 30 to 50%. And this saving really starts adding up because like there are just so many new IEMs coming out every month, and how many sets people buy in this year is pretty astonishing. For example, if you bought 5 sets new last year, that roughly translates to only 2 to 3 IEMs price wise if you were to buy used, which saves you the extra cash of those 2 to 3 sets that you can spend on other things like groceries, and gas. Now obviously used isn't going to be as mint and shiny as new, but unless you're like dead set on IEM, you should buy used first. Ask the seller to like clean it before you buy it, you know, ask for some pictures, do the transactions via PayPal Business, so like if you do ever get a dud, which rarely happens, you can at least get a refund for it. Then after that, the next hack would be prioritizing which components to upgrade first. And the most important one here, outside of just changing the IEM itself and the sound itself, would be the tips. Tip rolling is very important in not only changing the sound and how it grabs, but it also affects how an IEM fits in your ears, the seals, and thereby affecting how the sound bounces and, you know, travels to your ears, as well as just increasing the return on investment, since with a comfy fit you can use your IEMs for a longer period of time, thereby allowing you to kind of like stretch that value you're getting out of an IEM. Because nobody wants to spend $500 on a set only for it to like fall out of your ears every 5 minutes to the point where you just can't even really use it. That defeats the point of, like, you know, listening to music if you can't use it. I made a whole video ranking each upgrade path, so go check that out for more info. But TLDR, prioritize tips and comfort first. Then you want to find a clean source with low distortions. Usually the sources don't really matter when it comes to IEMs. And then lastly, cables for aesthetics and just like a lighter weight. Then lastly, I would avoid driver marketing. Over the years, I've been more and more convinced that driver amounts do not actually matter as much as implementation. Meaning, as long as you have 3 or more drivers and like high quality ones, you're gonna be fine when it comes to the technical department, because it is mostly tuning at the end. So if you're paying $2,000 for a 12 driver IEM like the U12T, you're going to run into huge diminishing returns if you compare it to like a $200 or $100 IEM like the Super Mix 4. It's just not worth it in most cases. Using a car analogy, more drivers in this case isn't going to be like going from a 4-cylinder to a, you know, turbo boosted twin V8. You know, that's not going to happen. It's more like going from a 4-cylinder to a turbo boosted VTEC 4 cylinders. So the difference is there, but it's not a huge difference. Driver quality is also more important. For example, ESTs are smoother, it does the treble better, as well as just like branded drivers in general are not better because they pull more detail, but because of their superior QC, there's less distortion, there's less anomalies when it comes to the production side. It sounds, I guess, smoother, especially with the Sonians, and the sound is less quote-unquote metallic because it's not over boosted, it's more consistent in the production. As a result, it's more natural across every unit. Now, of course, there's also very good custom BAs from Software, SimGlass, and Phonium, but you do have to take an extra step to kind of like recalibrate and double check the drivers to make sure they're good, which is why they call it, you know, custom BAs, because they have to kind of like customize it a little bit. And some companies just don't do this well, which is why their custom drivers can sound, you know, sharper, more metallic. For example, early KZ stuff were known for kind of their metallic-y piercing treble, and recently stuff like the Cantor is like has the pressure buildup because they just didn't implement it correctly. There's also the microplanars, which are also slightly overboosted and badly implemented as well. So don't buy too much into the more driver equals more performance. Make sure you find the sound you like first. Make sure the drivers are well implemented. Use tools like PEQdB to kind of help you arrive at your preferred sound faster. And most importantly, enjoy the process and don't rush yourself. Enjoy the hobby and enjoy the music.
Shout out to Rorik's Cat, Dom Q, Discal Scaldus, B Urak, Mystic Spoon Attack, Walker Standard, User, Patrick, Polly J, Mr. Gorillas, Anton Risto, Gis Sang Young, Ed Dunlap, Christopher Jackson, Name, Henry Claudia, Son of a Horse, 777ZK, Ben Thompson, Obi, Triple Well Extended, Wizard, Frickalicious, Andrick, Ricardo, Tapas R, Chucko Norris, Oh Really, Contain Guava Juice Gains, Shren Buck Lee, Nico, Igris, and Forever New. Thank you guys so much for the year.